Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dark Xeno Knight, and this is part 2 of our Gamer Dad discussion. I say I'm going to let you go back to watching the last 20 minutes of our video interview and go from there. Please, like always, like, comment, subscribe, share, and add your opinions, because this is no fun if we just keep talking ourselves. Always tell us what you're thinking, and I will see you all out there on the battlefield.
It's one of those things to sit there and be like, okay, you know, how did he learn it? How do you go about telling him not to do it?
Yeah.
And just go from there and try teaching him a different way to do it. I don't know if your son has done it yet. You know, when you're sitting there doing a game or a match, he tries telling you what class to pick or what items to build, where to build it. You know, it came to one match for me where I was playing Battlefield. He wanted me to play a certain class with a certain gun and go to a certain area, and it's like, buddy, I can't do that. They're all wanting me this way.
No, not yet for me. Sometimes it's fun, especially with StarCraft, because it uses the bright colors and geometric shapes. He would just sit there like, there's a triangle, there's a circle.
Yeah, that's great, because like I always like it because like I'll end up getting shot and dying. Jackson will look at me and goes, "There he is." Go upstairs, buddy. You know, it's just one of those things, and it's funny as heck. I gotta admit, you know,
Yeah.
when the kid comes back and corrects you, like, should have went that way. I'm trying to think, you know, how to word my next question here. Now, you're big in RTS. Have you seen any like friction from other players you were going to play against? Whenever you say, "Can you give me 2 minutes? I gotta go, you know, change a diaper or grab my kid." Do you see any friction in that?
Well, the games I primarily play are StarCraft 2, Dota 2, and Company of Heroes 2. And the reactions are like night and day between them. StarCraft 2, usually they're awesome with it. They're like, sure, take your, pause it, take your time. You know, sometimes I've been able to like go get my kid, put him down, and come back, and then we'll unpause and keep playing. Dota 2, if you've got to leave a match, you get like death threats.
Oh, jeez.
So what the hell is wrong with you? You've ruined the game. I'm going to track you down and curb stomp you.
Wow.
Yeah,
that is.
I don't know what it is
unbelievable.
about MOBAs, but they bring out the worst in people sometimes.
I think that's the reason I stopped playing Call of Duty back when Modern Warfare came out. It just the community went so toxic against anybody that stopped for 2 minutes. It just drove me insane. And that's what I was wondering, if you see that same kind of friction.
Yeah, well, the pacing in Dota 2 is such that sometimes you can like run upstairs, grab them, come down, and you're playing one-handed, so you're not as good, but maybe they can't tell.
Okay.
And the same thing with Company of Heroes 2. In Company of Heroes 2, sometimes I have like ordered my army back to my base, gone upstairs, come down, brought my kid back down, and since the game's so slow-paced, nothing will have happened. You know, if you're like in a holding pattern and everyone's playing defensively,
Yeah.
nothing substantial will have happened if you just keep going. You're like, hey, sorry, I had to step away from my computer for a second. Your teammate will be like, oh, I didn't realize.
I didn't realize you stepped away. See,
That's actually one of the reasons I've kind of moved more towards Company of Heroes 2 as opposed to playing something like StarCraft. Because in StarCraft, you lose like 2-3 seconds at a time. That adds up. You get behind. But Company of Heroes 2, it's much slower paced, and if you've got a 2v2 or a 3v3, just kind of get your army set up in a decent position, run, come back, and hope that nothing too bad has happened.
Okay. See, do you play Civ 5 by any chance? All right. I say, because I picked up the game during a Steam sale. I've tried sitting there playing it. You know, I do horribly. The computer kicks my rear like you wouldn't believe. I'm like, maybe I'm doing this wrong. Maybe I gotta play other people and see what happens. So I've yet to find anybody else that owns the game.
I try to stay away from those grand strategy games. It's just too much. Like, you can sit down, play a couple turns, and then go on about your day. But to me, it's like I'm leaving it unfinished.
Yeah.
I gotta get in there and finish something.
That's how I feel about it, and I think that's the reason that I do so horribly. I'm like, I gotta finish this turn, I gotta do all these turns before dinner, and
And
it's just, it's a shame because I love that game back when it was Civ 1 and Civ 2.
Mhm.
Jumping all the way to 5, I think that was a mistake for me.
turn-based stuff just bothers me because with a real-time strategy game, you can make a mistake and then like immediately correct it. Like, oh no, I didn't mean to do that. But in a turn-based game, you make a mistake and you have to sit there and mentally kick yourself.
Yeah.
Be like, I shouldn't have done that, but it's too late because I committed to my turn.
Yeah, and that's just like being back at work again. It's like, why do I do this to myself? You know, I torture myself all day long at work, and yet here I sit playing this. You know, it's just one of those things. Go sit there, think back here, you know. Trying to think here. What else? You know, what other usual questions do we usually put up with as gamer parents? We've dealt with the sleep deprivation. You know, we're both.
Well, fortunately, as
showing it.
gamers, we're usually used to not getting as much sleep anyway.
I think that's one thing. You know, I used to work in the tech field. You know, I think you still do, don't you? You work in the tech field programming. I used to work in that field for 14, 15 years. I turned and went to a desk job doing automated billing systems. Writing software. Doing little Excel stuff. I do Office now.
Yeah.
So good. Greatly, I'm much more relaxed. No phone calls in the middle of the night. Just one of those things that makes me happy, and makes me laugh every time a tech position opens. They all come to me and say, "You want to take this? You can't pay me enough." I got 4 kids now.
Yeah.
As gamers, we know that.
As an interesting anecdote, I was kind of hoping Office would come up because my son thinks that Office Word is a game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll put it in all caps, put the font size to 72, and just let him go nuts on the keyboard.
Now you see, it's funny you bring that up because back when my son was smaller, like 5-6 months, I had 2 keyboards sitting on my desk because of a dual. I didn't have a dual screen setup. I only had 2 towers and 2 different screens. Thank God for a KVM box, cut down the waste. Well, I'd let him beat the hell out of the other keyboard as I played. So now he sort of knows how to use a keyboard, which makes my wife's laptop a gibberish mess. And which now he's figured out how to turn on his older brother's computer sitting over here.
Of course.
So he's had to turn that on. That's got like 50,000 icons on the desktop, and he now plays Minecraft on it.
Nice.
And I don't know what it is, but Minecraft 2 Kids, I don't know if you own a copy of it yet for the computer.
No, since I have so little time to game, I try to get the most bang for my buck enjoyment-wise. And to me, Minecraft is kind of like Legos.
Yes, it is.
So I don't want to sit down and putz around and do nothing for the 40 minutes I have to game. I want to get in and like punch somebody in the face, digitally.
It's funny you say that because a buddy of mine that I know from childhood, that I went to kindergarten with, and I still talk to. He just got married over the summer. We mentioned that before we started the video. But back when Minecraft was about to go out of its beta phase, he bought me a copy and gifted it to me. Well, he now lives like close to 2 hours away from me, and the only time we talk is usually Monday night. We sit for an hour and we play Minecraft, BS, and it's mainly our beer night.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's one of those things that we don't go out because I got 4 kids. I'm at the house just to make sure they're with them. I can't be driving all that way to stop, have a beer, and come home. But the older 2 kids saw it and they started playing in the same server with us. So it's become sort of a whole, family joke. And Uncle Cloud's online, I'm gonna jump on Minecraft and piss him off. So that's one of the things I wondered if you actually bought the game. And like you said, it's Legos, and the kids eat it up. And as your kid gets older, it might be something you want to look into because my older 2 will actually sit in the game for 2 or 3 hours and create huge buildings, go on hunting sprees, and it's just one of these things that okay, they're not just sitting there pointing and clicking the mouse,
Right.
at something stupid. It's actually making them think, well, I could go build this. I can do something creative. I can play with my friends.
I could see doing that for my son, because like I said, he plays this. I don't know if it was during the call or not, but
Yeah.
Toka Builders. Once he kind of graduates out of that, I can see him.
It's definitely something I advise for all kids to get into. And I talk to a lot, my kids are in the Scouts.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of parents that I talk to there. They think it's hysterical that I can relate to the kids with gaming. Because, again, I'm the youngest guy there sometimes. It makes me laugh. But, all the kids sit there and talk about Minecraft, so I can relate to them. And now I've become the Cub Master, which is the one guy they all look up to. And it's like,
That's pretty
okay,
cool.
here we go, So it's definitely something I suggest a lot of parents look into, especially if they're worried about their kids sitting there pointing and clicking all day. It's something useless. At least they use their mind, create figures, and I've seen kids create things that I couldn't even come up with in a million years. So it's something to look at. I play with a bunch of mods, so there's more than just standard bricks. You can build electric machines, sorting machines, automatic miners.
Wow.
There's sometimes I sit there and think my head hurts from doing this. There's a reason I'm not an engineer. But again, that goes back to us parents looking at it like, what game can we find to suit for our kids?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think games like SimCity that teach, or RTSs, teach time management and resource management. I don't know if I'm going to force Nick to play, StarCraft or whatever, but I think there are things you can get from pretty much any genre of gaming.
Oh yeah, I'm 100% with you. RTSs, I used to play Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3. And I used to love sitting there just figuring out how I could get more this unit before the other person, how to do certain things. And it is a great field to actually make you think, how to go about the next step or how to outflank the next person.
Yeah,
and
planning ahead.
And I think it's something
initiative.
that, initiatives, you're 100% correct on the initiative. Teaching the kids to take the reins and to go. It's just one of those things. And I highly recommend, like, my older guy, he's 9. I'm going to try this year to introduce him into RTSs and to see how he does. Yeah, I think he's at that age where he's pronouncing words out of dictionary I can't even fathom to look at. But yeah, I'm with you. It's like trying to find a game that'll fit kids, especially if you go to EB. I despise going to Electronics Boutique. The EB games, because all the games that they have for Xbox 360, they throw the M-rated games at such a young kid, and it drives me insane. It's like, okay, I know my guys, they've actually gone hunting this year and both got a deer.
Wow.
So they, I'm big into guns. I'm big into learning the history and the war and everything like that. I guess that's why I'm a huge Battlefield player. Because not only does it have gunplay, but you have to use strategy to capture flag points, or else your team is done. And it's one of those things that I know that my older boy's mature enough to handle an M game, but I still have the other 2 in the house.
Right.
And, well, the 4th one, which she's not even rolling over yet, so I think I'm safe to say I don't have to worry about that yet, right? But how do you feel about the way, actually, game publishers, send games out to kids? How do you feel about it?
Even just as a husband, I noticed.
Yeah, that's another thing about women in gaming too. That's a whole subject that could get dangerous.
Yeah, but even just as a husband, it can be uncomfortable. Like, I would love to play this game, but my wife would hate me.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it goes. It's like it looks like a good game. The graphic arts are good, but I don't know about the leather armor.
Yeah.
That was always a joke when we played Guild Wars, because what do you think all the guys did with their female characters? And she'd be like, I'd say something, but I'm afraid I'll get hit on. It is a hard subject.
back a couple years ago, I was a big MMO player. I played a little bit of Guild Wars 2. I played a lot of World of Warcraft, and it kind of got uncomfortable because it's like, there's a line between, I think, between stylized and maybe over-sexualized or pandering, maybe.
You're right. Yeah, I'm with you. On that.
I think a lot of games, especially in that category, are more towards like teenagers.
Yeah.
And as a married guy, can be like, I almost don't want my wife to catch me playing this.
It's funny because I actually got like a few games that I got like for $3 or $4 through Amazon sales. I was ordering other things. Then I'm looking at the art cover, and now that I got it, I'm like, I think I should lock this away in the safe.
I'm playing for the mechanics, honey, I swear.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, I don't even want the kids to see the icon on the desktop kind of deal. What is that?
Yeah, that's not as big a deal with my son at this point, because he's 2.5.
Yeah.
But that's. I especially thinking about it, EB, with his full color pop-ups and.
Yeah. See, just walking through the mall, just as soon as you turn the corner and you see that sign, you're like, oh, here we go, and it just drives you nuts. I don't know if I have to laugh because like I have a little girl now. I don't know if that's going to get worse in the next few years. And I think it's funny.
On the plus side, she has 3 older brothers to look after.
It's funny you say that because I remember when when she was born, the oldest boy. I went home from the hospital, picked up the whole family, came to the hospital. He was saying, as we're walking through the hospital, he goes, I can't wait until she starts dating. Well, buddy, Hideout, what are you thinking? No, that's his online name, Hideout, and I won't use his real name. I told him, what do you mean by that, dude? He goes, well, she starts dating, I want to make sure I'm going to beat the crap out of her boyfriends. And now the nurse in the elevator just started busting up laughing. My mother-in-law is standing there smiling. I said, buddy, you got to realize, you're about to be 10. She's probably going to start dating when she's 15, 16. You're going to be about 26. That's going to be called assault and battery. Of course, what did he do? He came home, got online, looked up assault and battery, came and he goes, I'm going to get you for that. Because that's what he does to me. I can't... The sarcastic point, and I can't wait until you get into this phase of life where the kid comes back with sarcastic marks. You're like, I don't know whether to yell at him or be proud.
Yeah, a couple of times I've already kind of felt that way. He's really good at wheedling. So the other day he loves chocolate milk.
Yeah. And
the other day he came over to me and he watches these YouTube videos and all like songs about the planets or some educational stuff. And he came over and he sang the lyrics to the song and he incorporated chocolate milk. I was like, I know I'm not supposed to give you chocolate milk, but darn it, kid, you deserve it.
Yeah, see, something like that, you just want to go, okay, you win. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm beat. It's just like whenever the wife comes back with a comment, you're just like, you win. It's just like I'm sitting there thinking, she'd probably listen to this whole conversation upstairs. She can't hear your side, but just me talking. It's through the headset. I know I'm going to have like 30 questions to answer. Like, what was this about? Yeah. It's just one of those things, too. It's real funny.
Yeah, my question is going to be, what were you doing for 45 minutes?
45 minutes. I might have to split this into 2 specials.
I hate to say it, I do have to go soon.
I do too, because I got to run upstairs and see what's going on. So we're going to go ahead and end this. So I'm going to have to thank you very much for coming. Say thank you for your input. Please, I'm going to put his. You mind if I put your Twitter handle in?
No, go ahead.
In the description, I'm going to link the article on RTS Guru for being a gamer parent, how you feel, and I'm definitely going to invite the audience, anybody that watches this, to join us with the chat. Because if this goes well, I'll start up a Google Talk and we'll do a whole big chat one night with a bunch of people. Because this is a subject that a lot of parents are running into now. Because
that's something that I feel pretty strongly about because when my kids were born, there are these sites like thebump.com or the nest.com, or even like Facebook groups for like new moms to talk about being a new mom and what their kids are doing, and there's nothing like that for even just for dads. It's hard to find, but for someone who, I don't know, I feel like a gamer parent has a specific set of issues that they can run into.
Yeah.
I found that on Twitter, with you and a couple of other people, the same sorts of topics had come up, and I feel like there's no forum to discuss that sort of thing.
Well, it seems to be like another taboo thing that guys don't talk about. It's just like, okay, we game. Or we go, to do sports, but we really don't include like how proud we are of our kids unless we're actually at one of their events.
Right.
And I talking with you on Twitter and a few of the other guys, it's like, okay, yes, there are more like me. And I think that's why I've sort of liked doing the YouTube and getting online, and it's sort of become our social outlet, at night when we do have the babies or the kids with us. And I can't wait until my kids get more into it, because then they join in on it, and it makes it even more of a proud moment for guys like us, and thinking, okay, the last 4 or 5 years have been, a way to go. But it is one of those things, and I hope you do write up a follow-up article on this, because I'm sure, now like 50 million things are going to run through your head tonight when you go to sleep. Just like, I'm sure once I hang up, like, oh, I should have asked him this. But yeah, I'll put your Twitter information in the description on YouTube along with the article, and I'll just invite everybody to come join a chat. And whenever I do post this video, I might split it into 2, because I don't even know how long we've run.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we started around an hour ago, I want to say.
Okay, yeah, so I might split it into 2, just to give people a little bit of a breakup, and just make it a little more fun, and to include more of the community, because like you said, you feel the same way I do about it, that we feel this is a missing niche. And as I told you on Twitter a few weeks ago, I think you kicked it off a year ago with this article, and it's resonated behind me, with the group that I tried starting and is on hold. It's just something that stayed in my mind the whole time, so it's something I wanted to do a video on and discuss with you. And I'm sure this won't be the last.
That's great. No, I'd like to come on again and just shoot the breeze, and
it was one of those fun things, and we'll go from there. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. Everybody take care. Thank you very much for showing up, and we'll see you guys out there, and I guess I can't say on the battlefield alone, also on the RTS round.